How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another video here on the channel. And today, the scene for the video is definitely different than most of the videos on the channel. Now, most of the videos take place in my garage down in San Diego. Today, Will and I, all the OG subscribers from the
OG,
the first
many years ago.
Yeah, like the first, like 10 go-kart build videos.
Yeah.
He was the one that helped me get it started. So he is my good friend, my best friend up at UCI here. So we both go to University of California, Irvine, for those that don't know.
Go Angels.
Yeah, so I'm from San Diego, but I go to school up here, and we're roommates. We're both studying environmental engineering. So we've gone through almost 4 years now, pretty much 3.5 years of college in our undergrad degree.
Yeah.
And we've just learned things over the years that we want to share with you guys. Now, granted, the demographic of the channel probably isn't all people going into college. I know there's some that are probably in college or after college. But for those that, this video fits, I feel like it could be really helpful because we're going to share with you guys 5 tips on how to survive college, in our opinion. These are things that we felt that have really helped us over the past about 3.5 years going through our undergraduate degree. So we wanted to share those with you, so either if you're starting college, you're about to go in, or if you're in college now, it could help you. So as I stated in like 2 videos ago, I really want to try and focus on diversifying the content on the channel here and not just do go-kart build videos and stuff. So I thought that one big thing to do would be to incorporate my collegiate career into the YouTube channel here. So Will's going to tell you where we are right now, and then we'll get into the tips that we have lined up for you guys.
Hey everyone, again, I'm Will Amos, Andrew's longtime friend and roommate as of now. We are in the Speculative Prototyping Lab, which is a lab that I helped create and manage. Right now it's in the Claire Trevor School of the Arts at UC Irvine. We do a lot of additive manufacturing research and a lot of out-of-the-box research. Right now we're working on creating a system to take 3D printed waste and grind that down and make it back into 3D printable plastic. So that's our current project.
Yeah.
And so, we're excited to be here.
Yeah, we focus a lot on rapid prototyping and 3D printing. There's 2 really nice 3D printers behind us that are currently going and working on rapid prototyping for the project that you see behind us. Now, without getting too off track, that is going to be content for another video that we'll discuss in the future. So let's go ahead and jump right into the 5 tips on how to survive college. Okay, so just to reiterate before we begin here, this is solely our opinion. Alert to all. Alert. Yeah, opinion alert on the internet. So if you have an opinion that differs from ours, that's fine. This is not fact. This is not a world-renowned source of tips. This is just our personal opinion. Yes. So Will, why don't you jump in right at the first one?
Sure. A big thing that I've learned throughout my college career is not to let my major define who I am or what I do. I'm an environmental engineer, but a lot of the work that I do as a project manager right now for this project and for many other projects is mostly relying on electrical and mechanical engineering. The work that I do within environmental engineering, I've studied a lot about wastewater and water treatment and hydrology, but that's not exactly my own personal interest, and you don't have to make that your own personal interest to fit in. Your major is just a way for you to learn, and especially if you're in engineering, you're going to get a lot of good general knowledge on problem solving, and that can be applied to a lot of other things. So I would say, whatever major you are, that isn't what you're going to be for the rest of your life. That's not going to define who you are. You should definitely stick with the major when you're here, because remember, when you're graduated and done, that doesn't have to be who you are forever. So just try to go through with one major and do what you like. And then once you're out, you can kind of pick where you want to go. It doesn't really, you kind of have, the world's your oyster, you can go anywhere.
Yeah, so that's it. I mean, a lot of people change their major many times throughout their college career, and we haven't changed ours, but the nice thing about UCI and a lot of other colleges that offer engineering probably is that they give you a foundation for engineering. We've taken numerous mechanical engineering classes, we've taken civil engineering classes based on like structural engineering and stuff like that. So you get a good general engineering foundation. And like Will said, the key takeaway from really what your engineering career is your idea, or not your idea, but your ability to be a problem solver and a critical thinker. Like, we took many undergraduate math classes. I think like 6 or 7 undergrad math classes. And we were like, why do we have to study this erroneous stuff in these math classes? And really, it helps you learn how to like think around problems and be a critical thinker, because that is a huge core and foundation in engineering, at least in my opinion. So
no, I totally agree.
All right, so tip number 2 is find good study buddies. I mean, I can't express how important this is and how much of a help this has been since really the first week of class, my freshman year. You need to find a good group of study buddies. Now, the beneficial thing for our major, and I don't know if other schools do this, but really, you as you go through your 4 years here, you're with a group of about 40 people that's in your major, and you all kind of take the same classes. And then as you get to your last few quarters in your senior year, you kind of spread off and do your individual specializations. But you find you're with the same people really for all of your major classes. That doesn't really account for your general requirement classes, but all for your engineering classes. I mean, you are with the same people, so it's easy to find a good group of study friends, because it's really reassuring when you have someone else that's in the same boat as you. I mean, there's been quarters where we've had the exact same schedule, like same classes, everything. So we were able to study for tests, do homework all at the same time. Our classes and schedule were in sync, so it really just helped. And it was really reassuring, because like knowing that, okay, he's having trouble with some concept or this homework, so it's not I'm not alone in having trouble with it. So
totally. And I think a big aspect of any major and any time you go to college is remember that while you're in class, you're in a big lecture hall usually, depending on what size of a school you go to, but you're in a big lecture hall with hundreds of other people. But you pick some people out that look like, especially freshman year, everyone's equally as lost about this whole world as you are. Like, you gotta really kind of figure out a group of people. They don't have to be like, this is my favorite person in the world. Andrew and I both had friends that have, in the time we've been here, which is only a few years, we've kind of like, get away from them. They're not, they've become kind of not good people. Or they're not beneficial to our, our life, and they seem to kind of like detract from it. But just in the beginning, be open to anybody. Be open to just talking to people. Be open to just talking to as many people as possible.
Get involved in like stuff on campus if you can. That really helps make friends. So like he was saying, like you have friends that come and go, but really him and I have stuck together this entire 3.5 years. And like there's definitely instances where I look back, I'm like, I probably wouldn't have passed that class unless Will was able to help me get through some of the homework and the tests and stuff.
Same goes for Andrew here.
So we really kind of feed off each other, and we're like we vent to each other when we're like frustrated. I mean, we were doing that yesterday about one of our wastewater treatment classes. It's ridiculous.
So it definitely helps to have people who are in the same boat as you and know kind of like what you're going through. And also get involved in organizations that you might not have initially thought were meant for you. We have a lot of fantastic Filipino engineering. Well, we have a fantastic Filipino engineering organization. I went to a couple of those meetings. Just to make sure everyone knows, I'm not Filipino. But if you go, you meet a lot of other people that are also engineers. For those especially, like, try to be invited. Don't just invite yourself, because those are kind of, but most clubs have like an open day you can go check out. So check those things out. If you're not, doesn't matter, you can be a part of any club on campus. Everyone loves participation, so go for it.
I mean, it was a little bit harder for me freshman year because I commuted for the first 3 years, so it was harder for me to get involved. But Will, he was right in the middle of stuff. So he got involved in a lot, and it helped him make his connections. And then also, not even people your age, but also you meet a lot of people that are older than you that can give you good advice. So, you want to start off the next one?
Alrighty. This is a little, this is going to sound cheesy, but we wholeheartedly mean this, is don't doubt yourself. We learned this year from one of our better professors last quarter who taught a research course in sustainability, how to do research in sustainability. He told us about this thing called the imposter syndrome. The imposter syndrome is this idea that no matter how expert you get in something, you never feel like you're an expert. You're always like, there's much smarter people in this field than I am. I'm just kind of being an imposter. I'm not really that much of an expert in the field. But I would say get over that pretty quickly. Once you start down a path, you'll kind of specialize, and And even if you're not specializing, know that like you can make it through all of this stuff. None of the things in college are designed to make you fail. I know it sometimes feels like that, but they really aren't designed to make you fail.
It definitely does feel like that sometimes.
Definitely feels like that, don't get me wrong. And there's some courses called like weeder courses and get people, try to separate that, well, people say, oh, they're trying to separate the good from the not so good. That's not true. It's just that those are times where you got to buckle down and work even harder. So, don't doubt yourself. You can make it through anything that college throws out. You just got to like kind of believe in yourself and know that you can do it.
Yeah. I mean, this kind of leads into the next tip, but I mean, if you're going to college for engineering, you already got accepted into college for engineering. Yeah. So you got something going for you. So exactly. It's not like, you randomly got accepted for no reason. Like, you've worked hard before, you're smart, you're capable, so just continue that on and kind of grow into, college is a big time where you grow. I mean, some people think you're a full-grown adult by high school, but that is not the case. True. So college is definitely a big growth period, and it's a growth period where you can learn that you shouldn't doubt yourself because you're capable of doing a lot.
Totally.
Alrighty, so tip number 4 of 5 kind of came from the last one a little bit. College never really gets easier.
Nope.
You just get more experienced and you learn from all of your past classes and other experiences. And that kind of goes into doubting yourself. And there's been countless times where I've had to tell myself, okay, I've been here before, I've passed, I can do it again. Because, oftentimes when you start a new quarter or semester or whatever, you feel really overwhelmed. You feel like some of these classes, like, oh, how am I ever going to pass this class? But then you just kind of have to tell yourself, okay, I've been here before, I've taken hard classes, I've passed it, and I've done that. So as you kind of go through college, some people say, oh, the GEs are, or the first few years of like getting through all the weeder classes, like Will said, where it separates out all the less dedicated people from the more dedicated people, and it's more harder during that time. I mean, maybe, but your upper div classes are definitely difficult. I mean, we're in 2 very difficult wastewater treatment classes right now, where this is really the first time in these 2 classes where we've had to like figure a lot of stuff out on our own, and they don't just explicitly tell you, okay, here's this equation and this equation, this is how you do it. And because of that, it is a little bit overwhelming and kind of daunting, but we've gone through so many classes. I mean, I can think back of a mechanics and materials class we've been through, thermodynamics, like, you're kind of like, your skin is really tough by senior year, and you're able to kind of just stick it out and, just believe in yourself a little more, as cheesy as that sounds.
Yeah, and I mean, the point is, you also learn how to cope with the stress. I would say better. I don't know if all of my coping mechanisms are great.
Yeah.
But I would say you learn how to cope with the stress more.
Right.
So you know how to take on more stress. I mean, right now we're doing senior design, 3 hard upper div classes, and we're getting through it. And we have 2 more quarters to go. This one included before we graduate. We're going to do it.
Yeah.
And so it's just learning to handle the stress, learning to and always evaluate. Make sure you're always kind of like thinking like, how am I handling it? What's going on? How do I make, like, I'll be honest, I used to get super nervous weeks before a test would happen. I mean, like 2 weeks before midterms, I would have stomach pain and I couldn't eat, and I'd be like, this is terrible. I mean, now senior year, I don't get nerves until I'm like, I have a flash of nerves right before I take it. But that's about it. And then I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna take it.
Yeah, there's some times it's really weird where we're like preparing for a test, and we're kind of like, are you nervous? No. How about you? No. I mean, like, you just kind of learn to cope with the routine of like, okay, you gotta study, and you gotta take it, and you gotta study, and you gotta take it. And literally, this is kind of like maybe a sub-tip, so like 4.5 maybe. As long as you do everything you can before you take a test, so if you do everything you can to study, if you do homework problems and you do a study sheet and things like that, and you go to office hours and go to review sessions, like you've done everything you could and you literally do the best you physically, humanly can on the test, then it's almost a very reassuring and kind of relaxing feeling of like, well, that was just meant to be like that then, if I did all I could. So
exactly. So make sure whenever you're thinking about it, if you're getting a few days before a test, just to add on to that just quickly, like if you're getting a few days before a test and you're like, oh man, I could have done this, well, just do it. Just Just get that stuff that you feel like you should do done. And then once you're there, it's kind of like, okay, well, if this doesn't go well, that's kind of almost not my fault. That's that's just how it goes.
Yeah.
So
and there's a lot of
do
people,
as much as you can.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people that will be in the same boat as you. And
Totally.
It's a very, like we said earlier with the study buddies, it's reassuring when you go out of a test. I can't tell you how many times this has happened. You got out of a test, and literally everyone was like, "What the heck just happened?"
Yeah.
And so it's very relaxing. Like you feel anxious, you're like, "Oh, I just bombed that test." But when you hear all your friends saying the same thing, you're like, "Okay, we're okay."
At least everyone did.
Yeah. So that's kind of wrapping up that. All right. Fifth and final tip for our opinion of how to survive through college.
Yeah. So don't be a collegeaholic. So burnout, a quick tip. So this is to kind of semi-quote one of the directors of 350.org, a fantastic activism networking agency that does a lot of good work in the environmental movement and things like that. She said, burnout is not required. So what does that mean? Burnout basically means like you work so hard that you make yourself sick, or you suddenly become exhausted to the point of passing out, or you become
just don't want to do anything,
or you just don't want to do anything, not even the things that you find fun. So what I'm telling you right now is that doesn't mean you're doing a good job. I had a professor who once said, like, if you're not staying up till like 1 a.m. every night, like you're doing it wrong. That's not at all true. That's not at all true. I mean, don't feel bad if you have to stay up till that late every night. Like we rarely go to bed before 1 or 2 a.m. still.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean we're doing it better than other people. That just means we are doing it the way we have been doing it, like that. So the point of this is like, don't feel like you have to work yourself to the bone and just do college. There are a lot of important experiences outside of college. This lab I built with my colleague and our director, Jesse Jackson. Yeah, no, not that Jesse Jackson. So what we've done here has not been part of a class. None of this was part of a class. All of this was done because of extracurricular stuff that I did during my lower division classes and things like that. So it's really important to go out there and do other things.
Yeah.
Like study abroad. I also studied abroad.
Yeah.
Like that was life changing. Like you've got to do these other things.
Yeah. I mean, I'm the type of person where I need time to myself. There's many students on many campuses where they can take 5, 6 classes, maybe even 7. I don't know. But like that's to the point of like you're literally you eat, study, sleep, eat, study, sleep, go to class, sleep, sleep. Like I couldn't do that. I need time to relax and enjoy myself, and also to take care of yourself. Like you know, freshman year, I really neglected to like exercise a lot, and because of that, it really kind of affects your whole body and like you know. When you exercise, you get more energy and blah, 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 stuff like that. But you make sure you take care of yourself and you don't get caught up in like classes, and tests and studying. Like, give time to like go spend time with friends and your family. Because college, you know, as critical as a time as it is in your life, like it's also supposed to be a fun time where you like grow a lot, like we were saying. Like, you know, growth doesn't necessarily always happen just by going to class and passing tests and getting good grades. Like you got to be able to, you know, expand and socialize and just do things that you wouldn't normally do because you have more independence now. So,
and another thing that you have to realize is, this is for me especially, is I spent so far, basically since the start of high school, but especially after I got out of, and came to college, is I work every summer, but I work on things that I want to experience. So I worked as an intern at the San Francisco Public Utilities Commission for 2 summers. Then I worked in this lab for last summer. Then this summer, right after I graduate, I'll probably still be working in this lab doing other projects. And then, I don't know, I might be doing a startup for a year. And then we'll see where that goes. But like, you know, every summer, just so you guys know, summers aren't holy breaks anymore. They're a good time where you don't have to study, where you should be getting experience and things you want to experience. That can be travel, but it should be like, you can do like volunteer work while you're traveling, things like that. Like you want to be figuring out and doing work so you can kind of know what part of the workforce, or if you want to join the workforce at all, or things like that. Like what do you want to do? Do you want to work for yourself? Like Aldrin and I, another person who's not in this video, who was supposed to be, but couldn't make it today, he'll be in videos down the road, I suppose. Yeah. He and I both figured out like we kind of don't want to go work for a public utility quite yet. Like we're not ready to kind of settle into that job. We want to go do a lot more work on activism and work on our environmentalism. Andrew realized some important things about what he wants to do after this. You know,
it's just, you know, make sure you give yourself time to really kind of step back and relax, and don't get caught up in the rapid, you know, flow of college.
Yeah.
Like, really take a step back and analyze, like, you know, what you really want to do, and don't be a collegeaholic. Like, just like a lot of people say, don't be a workaholic. College is a full-time job.
Yeah.
Especially if you're in engineering. It's very, you know, there's a lot of time commitment, as you probably will find or have already found out. So just don't be a collegeaholic.
Totally.
Give time for yourself to, you know, treat yourself, you know, to fun things, hang out with friends, family, you know, explore, and just, you know, have fun. Like, that is the bottom line. Is, you know, it's really simple. It's just have fun, and also, you know, really value and enjoy learning. Like, learning, the minute you're like, oh, I have to learn this, like, just kind of think of it as
there
like, you know, oh, I get to learn this new thing, and yeah, like, it's a class, but then, you know, you're outside of school and you, like, you know, like, oh, I've learned about that. So it can really help you outside of class too. So without rambling on too much, that's really kind of our personal 5 tips on how we've survived really 3.5 years through undergraduate engineering. And I mean, not to, like, you know, what is it, blow smoke? No, not blow smoke. To, like, toot our own horn here.
Why are you dang it, man?
Not to toot our own horn here, but UC Irvine, the UC schools, are very competitive, and they're tough, especially because they're on the quarter system.
Totally.
So that means we have 3 sets of classes every year, whereas the semester system we only have 2, but you take a few more classes. So it's very rapid, it's very fast moving, you know, so it's been tough, and really these 5 tips have honestly, truthfully helped us to get through. So,
and it's honestly really weird to think that we're kind of close to our graduation. Like, it doesn't feel like we've been here for 4 years.
Yeah.
That's how quick it goes.
Yeah, it goes by really quick.
It goes by very fast. So take advantage of it.
If you guys have any questions for us, please feel free to leave them in the comment section. We'll be happy to answer them for you.
He'll let me know what they.
So if you have a question specifically for Will, I'll relay that to him, and then he can give me an answer. Otherwise, I'll answer your questions for you. I'm always happy to help you guys out. I love my viewers, and I love helping you guys out. So I hope this video was helpful to you guys, and you found it intuitive, and you know, just really kind of motivating maybe that you can do this. So. Thanks you all for watching.
Thanks, guys.
Stick around for more videos. Subscribe for more. See you guys in the next one. Yeah!
Also, final tip, PS tip, kind of, drink lots of coffee.
Yeah, I've learned to like coffee in college, and that's the same thing I have with my dad and a lot of other people too. You really truly value coffee.
Get to know coffee. Love coffee. Start learning what bad coffee tastes like early on.
Yeah.
So you can avoid the bad coffee.
Energy drinks just make you like,
gross. They're also terrible for you.
Become
coffee, natural.
A coffee snob. Tip 6.
How did you? This man's an engineer. He doesn't know how to count.
Become a coffee snob.
Coffee snobs.
Do it. Alright. We're gonna be doing. No, don't like that.
Nah, don't like that.